Okay guys, this is my British Indian restaurant, tomato based chicken Rogan Josh. Absolutely delicious. Hey guys, how you all doing? Welcome to Backyard Chef, I'm Rick. Right, today's menu guys, we're going to make chicken Rogan Josh. Now this starts with pre-cooking some tomatoes, so let's show you how to do this. Right guys, what we got to do is pre-cook some tomatoes for Rogan Josh. You know, we want a little bit of oil in the pan. Flame on. And then what we want to do is add just a little bit of our minced garlic. So get the garlic in there. A little pinch of methi. Give it a little quick whiz round, and then in with our tomatoes. Now we're going to pre-cook these tomatoes. Now what's going to happen is that when they're pre-cooked, it's going to enhance the flavour of the tomato. Now with a Rogan Josh, obviously a Rogan Josh is tomato based. Now not a lot of people put tomatoes in, they normally put 2/4 of tomato in at the end. Okay, so just nice and steady, whiz it round. Now like I say, this will enhance the flavour of the tomatoes. Now this is a very quick stir fry, just to soften them up, you know, and bring the flavour out. Okay, flame off, tomatoes done. Okay, put back in a little container for later, because we're going to want these tomatoes at the end on our Rogan Josh. So that's our pre-cooked tomatoes for later. Right, we're going to use our homemade curry pan. So what we need to do is get some heat on. Go in with a little bit of oil, not much. Now of course you can use ghee, you can use anything, okay? Right, my spice blend for this, let's just turn this down a little minute. My spice blend for this guys, tablespoon of mixed powder, 1 teaspoon fennel powder, half a teaspoon garam masala, 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Okay, warm up our pan, and then what we want to do is go in with some garlic. Get the garlic in there, give it a quick stir around, and then in with a good pinch of methi. Get the methi in now. Nice little stir fry around guys. We're cooking for aroma, don't forget. We do not want to be burning this garlic, you know. And then what we want to do is go in with all our spices. So get all our spices in there and give it a little stir around. Just give it a little cook out. Now we don't want to burn this. And then in with 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. Give it a little stir around. Cook it all in there. It loosens up in the pan, we don't want to burn anything. And then what we want to do guys, we need to go in with a ladle of our base gravy. So get that in there, stir it all around, loosen everything up in the pan. So we've got a nice little bit of base gravy going on there. In with another ladle of base gravy, give it a stir around. And then what we want to do, guys, we want to go in with our pre-cooked chicken. So get our pre-cooked chicken in there. Give it a stir around. Oh wow. Let it cook out a little minute. And then we want to go in with a little bit more base gravy and a good pinch of coriander. So get your coriander in there, give it a stir around. And then we want to go in with some quarter tomatoes. Just give that a stir in there. Now these are quite raw actually. Well, obviously they are raw and they're going to cook in here. They're not our pre-cooked tomatoes. So get them in there, give them a stir around. And if you've got any base gravy left, get that in there too. How easy is that? Right guys, you know in a BIR, a Rogan Josh is very much has tomatoes in, splashed all over look, has tomatoes in. That's why we pre-cooked our tomatoes. And this is going to be what they call a topping, okay? Now, this is old school cooking in a BIR. Not many BIRs do this anymore, they're too lazy, okay? So what you do, you cook out your Rogan Josh, and then what we'll do, we'll add our tomato topping to the top of our Rogan Josh. Now don't forget with tomato puree, guys, you know my tomato puree is tomato puree, water and a little bit of sugar, okay? Now it's very sour, but if you put a little bit of sugar in, it brings out the sweetness of the tomatoes. Okay, some people say, well, it brings out the sweetness of the sugar. Okay, up to you. You need that little bit of sugar in there because tomato puree is sour as heck, okay, and we don't want a sour curry. So just stir that around there. Now I use Fennel in my Rogan Josh. It's like my signature spice for Rogan Josh. Up to you whether you use it or not, guys, you know, but I think Fennel is absolutely perfect for a Rogan Josh. Now that's starting to thicken up quite nicely. So thicken it a little bit more and then we'll add the tomatoes. Now don't forget in there, look, if I can grab a spoon, in there we've got a little bit of juice, you know, because the tomatoes being pre-cooked, the juice is leaking out. So if we cook the curry down a little bit thicker, add the tomatoes, we get that nice curry sauce. A nice tomatoey curry sauce. You know, some BIRs, they cook off with onions and peppers and things, you know, but I wasn't shown that way years ago, so I don't make it that way. The Rogan Josh to me is a tomato-based curry. Okay, we got a nice thick sauce there, guys. I mean, that is really thick. So what we need to do now, we need to add our tomatoes. So get our tomatoes in there, give it a stir in, and that is our Rogan Josh made. Just look at that. Amazing. So all we need to do now, guys, is serve it up. So turn off the heat, clear some of these pans, and we'll serve it up. Oh, and now for the taste test. Oh man. Absolutely perfect, guys. Very tomatoey. In fact, there's a slight sourness of the tomatoes at the end actually, which is fine because it's a tomato dish. That is amazing. Right guys, that's chicken Rogan Josh made. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, like and subscribe. Catch you next time. There's nothing like eating a curry and it's 101 degrees outside. Oh. Oh man, that is absolutely amazing. Amazing. Job done.